Hello, good people. Thanks for joining me again. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Ann, and on my channel, I review foreign shows. You know what I usually say, right? We travel around the world sitting on our couches. How fun is that? You never know which country we're gonna end up in. Hi guys, thanks for joining me again. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Ann, and on my channel I review foreign international content. Today I'm back. I had to jump on here and say you have to add this one on your list. It's called Anikulapo and it's from Nigeria. We're talking motherland, going to West Africa. Ooh, Nigeria, my Nigerian brothers and sisters. Oh, this one is good. Oh, I loved this. Anyway, for anybody who doesn't know what Anikulapo is, I love that it's, first of all, it's a period piece. I love it when any culture does, when we go back. You know, before Westernization happened and now everybody's so mixed up and we all Westernized, like your pure culture. And I love that this is one of those, like it was done a long time ago. I love the costuming and how they're dressed, the braiding and the beads, so rich and so beautiful. That's why I love period pieces, historical pieces. And I guess we're told a story about the character Kunle Remy, who's right here. And let's just say he is born with like powers. The way the show just starts off is like it looks like he was beaten up. He looks like he's dead. This strange bird shows up and all of a sudden he's resurrected. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? And I love how they opened up with that story, a traditional African story. And you know how Africa has like myths and things like that about how if in the olden days, if you died and your time had not reached, this bird would come and resurrect you. And that's, I guess, what happened to him. And obviously, I guess if you're old and had lived your life, then you're allowed to go to the afterlife or heaven, wherever we all go to when we leave this world. So that was interesting. So off the bat, I'm like, what is going on? Like, what in the juju is going on? By the way, I was very interested to hear, and I'm interested to hear, like, Africa is very religious. And I'm just interested to hear from my Nigerian friends how this movie was taken. Did people are like, ooh, what kind of juju is this? Or was it like, oh, you know, it's our African traditions, we know that's there. Or they took it for what it was. It's a fantasy. It's not real life, right? And it was so good. Anyway, he's resurrected and obviously ends up in this village. And by the way, Sombo Wale, oh, I love her. And I love the fact that she was a woman boss, where they were calling her a man eater, if you will, meaning she had her own business. Although she was married, she was known to also take like young boys for her own pleasure, and clearly took him under her wing. And she was like, come here, I'll help you. You're gonna help with my business. She was in the clay business. Everybody's doing, you know, ceramics and things like that, and really took a liking to him. And let's just say on the side, she was also enjoying herself, if you know what I mean. Which, by the way, I have to say, we've come along for Africa, because the sex scenes in this, I was like, we're showing everything now? I mean, it used to be, you couldn't even see a hug in African movies, but we are like, nope. We are also joining I guess, everybody with clothes come off. I mean, boobs are being shown, butts are being shown. I was like, ooh. So yeah, disclaimer, in case you're watching with family, there is sections like that you're gonna have to be aware of. But anyway, when she takes him under his wing, he's happy. She even builds him a house. She was quite the sugar mama, right? Forget about sugar daddy. She was his sponsor, right? She was the sugar mama, right? And then we found out that he loved to weave, so he would make clothing, and that was beautiful. And he becomes popular for his weaving. And we have a palace which has a king, and this king has like, I don't know, 4-5 wives. And it so happened the character Ademoye, who's right here, oh, I love her. I've seen her in so many shows. She's such an excellent actress. But anyway, she's his young wife, and let's just say the other queens don't like her because this is the king's favorite. She's the sweetest. And clearly, he's neglecting the other queens and coming to see her all the time. She was married at 15. Let's just say for her, it was not romance. It was more about duty. And she's here married to the king, and she's supposed to produce heir for him. And let's just say one day he's invited to come over to bring clothing for the queens and their children, and because they want to buy it from him. And he is just so like stoked in the fact that, wow, my work has become this popular that the palace wants me to produce clothing for them. When he comes, that's when he meets the young wife of the king, and let's just say fireworks. Oh my god, their romance was so good. And then let's just say things don't go very well and they have to run away because they beat him up and kill him. And once again, that bird shows up and resurrects him, and it's like, man, this man never dies. But she picks up something. I don't want to say everything because I don't want to destroy the story in case you haven't watched it. She picked something that the bird drops. And let's just say this thing, when they decide to run away. By the way, that one scene when they're running away, the music in this is so beautiful. I'm not sure who the artists were. It was so like authentic African and just such good beats. I wish I could play some of the songs here because it was so good, but we all know YouTube copyright, right? But oh, such beautiful music. Do yourself a favor and listen. The music selection was fantastic. I loved it so much. Anyway, they run away and they end up in this other village. And let's just say, when you have a good wife, she can help you know how to make yourself, rich and become the big, boss. Make you buka, right? Is that what the Nigerians say? Oh, make you buka, right? So anyway, let's just say they show up there and they need to survive, and it so happens somebody dies. And she figures out whatever the bird dropped when he was resurrected again, resurrected, like he's Jesus or something. They can use it on other people who die. And let's just say he becomes, and that's why they were calling him the Anikulapo, meaning, I think it's like the resurrector is kind of what the vibe we're getting. And he was able to go around and resurrect people, becomes very popular, not only popular with everybody, but popular with the king, because everybody loves their services and the fact that, wow, if your loved one died, you could go to him and he could bring them back. And then people would bring him food and all that stuff. Let's just say he became very wealthy. And what an interesting story. And you have to keep watching because obviously the relationship between these two is the driving force of this story. And oh, what an excellent show. And the way it ended, clearly they're teeing it up. We need a season 2 because I was like, his eyes are wide open. I'm like, yeah, we need to figure out what happens next. And obviously we want to see more about their relationship. But it was so good. What an excellent show. I think it's about 2 hours long, but it didn't feel like it was that long because the storyline really had a good groove. It went really, really well. I love the whole, African village, the costuming, the music. Now, I also have to say, the subtitles, and you know what I usually say, if you've been here before, always try to listen with the language of origin. So in this show, it's Yoruba, and you can click Yoruba and then they'll do the English subtitle because you really get the richness of the language, the acting comes through. It does have dabbing if you want to listen to it in English, but it does lose something. You can actually see their mouths are moving and the words just don't seem quite right. So please watch it in Yoruba if you can because it's just so fantastic. I wanted to jump on here and say, oh, my Niger friends, my Niger people, I see you and I'm loving this. I see you're keeping toe-to-toe with South Africa. Eh? You're like, we're not being left behind. You're like, here we come. And this one was very good. I hope it win awards. I loved it very much. The filmography, the acting, the music, like I said, the costuming, all of it was really good. I want to see more like this. I love it. Like I said, period pieces, and it's more, it comes across of our cultures come through when we go back before, civilization and westernization, I guess, came around. But fantastic show. Please watch it. It's on Netflix. I believe it dropped on Friday, but it's really, really good. Have you watched it? What do you think? I thought it was really, really good. What was your favorites? I mean, I loved it all. And I think they also kind of address like what does it mean when you have power, and does it get to your head and you have to watch to see what happens. But what an excellent show. And here is to hoping for season 2, because I want to see a season 2, because the way it ended, they were like, you want more? Yes, we do. I'm here for this. I am here for this. Once again, if you do like my video, give me a like, subscribe. It does help to support my channel. I'm currently reviewing Korean drama. We're reviewing Little Women. I know my African friends love Korean dramas as much as I do, so join me. I'm doing that once a week. Actually, this weekend is the finale. Do come back for my review, and I'll see you again when I'm reviewing another excellent foreign international show. Deuces.